Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Super Sam 7. Today I'm going to be looking at The Amazing Spider-Man Complete Clone Saga Epic Book 4. As you can see on the cover, as Spider-Man finding the Scarlet Spider. And I think it's a little bit thicker than the previous volume. And look, at the back, Kane unmasking himself. Finally, we get to talk about the whole story of him. So, after I show you the side, let's jump right in. Here is the first thing you see, Spider-Man head-to-head with the Scarlet Spider, except when you start this book, it's Peter Parker wearing the Scarlet Spider suit because Ben Reilly took his place in jail. It starts off with a giant-sized Web of Spider-Man issue 125, where Peter Parker tracks down a home address of Miles Warren that's recent. You find super big security and tech there, and the clone of Gwen Stacy, the first one from Amazing Spider-Man issue 145, I think. And she's been living there with a clone of Dr. Warren. And Black Cat shows up in this for a little bit. And we also have a new Green Goblin, the fourth Green Goblin appearing. Except he's a guy who is non-Osborn. He's trying to be a hero. They kind of reenact the Gwen Stacy death scene, but Peter Parker saves her this time. And we get origin story of Miles Warren and stuff that he did. But he dies at the end of the story. This stuff you see here is just a flashback. And then we jump into a two-part, which I think is the Judas Traveler's best story. Starting off with Amazing Spider-Man 402. The Judas Traveler returns and knows it's Peter Parker under his Scarlet Spider mask. And we learn that Scryer, whatever his name is, works for Judas Traveler. And he tries to fight him, but Judas Traveler shows him a future where New York City is destroyed because of him. But it's actually because of Judas Traveler. He just didn't realize it yet. Oh yeah, and the detective who threw Peter Parker in jail, who got scarred by Kane, is fighting for Peter Parker's innocence now. Anyway, Spider-Man decides to save Judas Traveler's life after he kind of goes crazy and he can't control a portal he's opened. And then we get Spectacular Spider-Man 225, The Return of the Green Goblin. There's this guy who's killing homeless people called Fire Fist. And yeah, Fire Fist, isn't that the name of that kid from Deadpool 2 who's a mutant? I don't think they're the same person, they just share the same name. So here's the fourth Green Goblin. He looks like he's about to kill some homeless guy because Fire Fist has been killing a bunch of homeless people, and Spider-Man thinks it's this new Green Goblin. But this new Green Goblin actually does some good. He doesn't really go after Spider-Man, really. But he gets away at the end. They capture Fire Fist. Alright. And then we get this moment, which kind of reminds me of a Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, episode 20, where they go around, they interview people in Peter Parker's life. In this comic, it's talking about asking if Peter Parker could be a murderer, when it has flashbacks to his past and they're all saying no. And then we get these 4 issues called The Trial of Peter Parker. The first issue is kind of bad because it's just Spider-Man fighting Kane. In the second issue, Judas Traveler appears, teleports Kane and Spider-Man away. Also, Stoner's still working with Detective Raven to kill Spider-Man and she wants to do it for revenge against Dr. Octopus to kill Kane, not Spider-Man, sorry. Anyway, there's this really cool issue, Amazing Spider-Man issue 403, where Spider-Man is put on trial by Judas Traveler and his psychopathic villains that are there, like Carnage and Shriek. Chameleon is here, but doesn't really do anything. And the Judas Traveler also later transforms Malcolm McBride and back into Carrion, and Edward something back into Vermin. Oh yeah, Carnage actually unmasks Peter Parker, but he loses his memory at the end of it, so they all say guilty. Kane actually fights basically to his death to protect Spider-Man, and that kind of proves to Judas Traveler what he wanted to know about good and evil. Actually, Judas Traveler here kind of reminds me of the Beyonder from Spider-Man and Taz, the way they did Beyonder there. Anyway, long story short, Spider-Man saves Kane from Stunner, and then brings him to the courtroom of Peter Parker's trial. And Kane reveals himself at last to be the very first clone of Spider-Man, who is disfigured, can never live a normal life, but he's done everything to protect Mary Jane because he's still Spider-Man in a way, and he still loves her. He proves to the jury that he was the one who killed the guy, leaving a mark on a table. And Kane then tries to kill Ben Reilly, but he fails, and it's all revealed. They do some tests because of Mary Jane's baby. There might be something weird with it. And it turns out the weird stuff was that, oh gosh, this moment ruined the Clone Saga. It went downhill from here. where Peter Parker says, or Ben Reilly says that the test confirmed that he is the real Peter Parker, and the Peter Parker that we have been reading about for the last 15, 20 years, even though in the timeline it's only 5 years, but still, was a clone. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. It's terrible, and Peter Parker freaks out and actually hits Mary Jane on accident, kind of like in Spider-Man 3. And he just gets surprised. Then we have the Jackal Files, which is just like a character bio smorgasbord, creating Spider-Side, the clone from the last volume who was called Freakface, who apparently died, and then Squire Guy's DNA. Well, he's back now, and he's a new character called Spider-Side, who has a whole bunch of powers. He's in a New Warriors issue where he steals something from a lab. This bio carry-on virus to help the Jackal create a new carry-on virus to kill people. Spider-Side has a bunch of cool powers as well. Maximum Clonage Part 1 starts with Jackal killing a whole city of like 2,000 people. We also get the return of the Punisher here, where Punisher is after Jackal again. Just like in the first appearance of Punisher and Jackal, they first appeared both in Amazing Spider-Man issue 129. I completely forgot about this callback here. Anyway, Punisher is cool. Spider-Man saves Jackal, but then Jackal actually jumps in the middle of Punisher's gunfire, sacrificing himself in a way. Spider-Man puts him back in the pod. He's still depressed that he's a clone. Kane's there, Spider-Side is there, so it's all the clones together, as you can see. And Jackal's main goal is to just basically destroy the world, kill everybody, have it be surrounded by clones. I kind of forget. It's kind of confusing. It makes a bunch of clone Spider-Man that are just disintegrating automatically after you punch them. The New Warriors, they show up every once in a while. I know Scarlet Spider joins the New Warriors in a little bit in Volume 5. Which I'm not sure if I'm going to review Volume 5 next, actually. So, anyway, the finale is Maximum, Clonage, Omega. They all fight. Jackal apparently dies after falling off a building. Let me see. Gwen's there. Scarlet Spider saves her. He falls and he dies apparently. And Peter Parker goes back to Mary Jane after kind of being away from her after believing that he's a clone. Talking about this now is confusing, so I'm just going to stop right here. I'm sorry, but I hope you guys enjoyed this little walkthrough through this. That's all I have to say right now. Thank you for watching and have a good day.